Okay people, this is himself, and in this video I'm going to show you Leroy's punishers. I'm going to cover regular and while standing, and I'm also going to show you what I think are the best follow-ups. Now this is going to be the first of a number of videos I have planned, so if you want to catch the rest, make sure you subscribe. So Leroy's 10 frame punisher is 124, this is 27 damage, and that makes it good compared to the rest of the cast. On hit it's +3, but it transitions into hermit stance. Now I am going to do a video covering the stance in the future, but for now I'd say your best follow up is probably hermit 4. This is 11 frames, so it's uninterruptible and it's also safe. 12 frame punisher is 2-2, this is 30 damage, so it's about mid tier compared to everyone else. On hit it's +7, and what I'll follow up with is D1+2. This is 17 frames, so it will clash with a jab, but in this instance it can't be sidestepped and it launches on counter hit. What's also good is that on block it's 0 and it forces them into a crouch, so what you could do is set up a parry. Now I will be doing a video covering all of Leroy's parries in the future, so if you want to see that when it comes out, make sure you subscribe. To get them to duck, your low risk option is D3-2. This comes out in 16 frames and it's a natural combo. It also can't be sidestepped or backdashed here. The high risk option is DB3 1+2. This is 18 frames, so it can be interrupted, but it does more damage and it still tracks sidesteps. The danger though is that it's -26, so if they do block it, you're in trouble. If their back is to the wall, you might want to go for back 4. This is a homing mid and it gets your wall splat on hit, and on block it's also safe at -8. Now I will be doing a video on Leroy's wall game and combos, so if you want to see that when it comes out, make sure you subscribe. Before I move on, I want to mention 4-4. This also comes out in 12 frames, but it does 2 points less damage. But sometimes 2-2 won't reach, so you have to use this move. Moving on, at 13 frames he has DF14. This is the same damage as 2-2, but in this case it puts you into stance and you're at +6. What I'd follow up with is Hermit F+1. This comes out in 14 frames and it's 0 on block. It also catches sidesteppers and can wall splat, and on top of that it launches on counter hit. The drawback is the move is a high, but to anyone unfamiliar with it, it looks like a mid, so most people just aren't going to duck. At 14 frames, Leroy has 1+2, 1+2, 1, and this is probably the best non-launching 14 frame punisher in the game. On hit, it does 56 damage and it wall splats. But what makes it seriously good is the nature of the string. The last hit is -17, but it can be hit confirmed, so you never need to take the risk. What's also good is that the string jails. That second set of chain punches are high, but they can't be ducked, and on top of that they have pushback and they're safe. The last regular punisher is DF2 1+2. This is 15 frames and it gets us a launch. Sadly it can't be hit confirmed and it's -18 on block, so if you do use it, you have to be sure you're going to punish. So that's the regular punishers. What I'm going to cover next is these while standing punishers. At 10 frames he has from crouching 1. This puts us at +6, but we recover crouching, so it's hard to use those frames. What I suggest is from crouching DF4 or while standing 3. The former is a low and the latter is a safe mid, and it's also uninterruptible, but it's weak to sidestep right and both options can be backdashed. At 11 frames we have while standing 4. This is 16 damage, so it's near the bottom of the tier list. On hit it's +5, so what I'd follow up with is D1+2 or back +4. Now both of those options can be interrupted with the jab, so to cover that I'd go with F+2-3. This is a high, but it's 14 frames and it's homing. The second hit is a natural combo, but it's -10 on block, but people might not punish it because he has a follow up which is 4 and this is a safe mid. At 13 frames he has while standing 1-4. This is 30 damage, which is quite good compared to everyone else. On hit it puts him at +6 and he goes into stance, so the follow ups are exactly the same as DF14. Either go for F+1 which is a safe high, or Hermit 4 which is a mid. At 15 frames he has while standing 2. It's only 1 button input, but he does 3 hits, and since it stuns, we get a launch. Now those are the punishers you'll be using most of the time, but there will be occasions when you block a big low, and when that happens you should punish with up forward neutral 4. This comes out at 23 frames and it does 25 damage alone. However, there is one more tool I have for you, and that is the cain. You can only use this once per match, but it does 45 damage, and there's a couple of ways to use this. The first is when someone does a whiff, especially at long range. Here, the cain can reach them and launch them unlike any other move. The second method is against rage arts. There are some characters who have safe ones, but the majority are minus 22, and that means the cain is just fast enough to punish. Now when you consider practicality, during rage, most people have 45 damage maximum, so the 14 frame punisher will do the job. But if it's the final round and you just want to end in style, this is probably the best way to do it. The last method I'm going to show you is way more useful. Remember those big lows? These tend to be minus 23 or more, so what you can do is crouch cancel and punish, and when you add in rage and walls, you can easily turn around. So that's my first Leroy video done, but I've already started working on other videos covering wall game and parries. So if you want to see that when it comes out, make sure you subscribe, and if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. Also, make sure you follow me on Twitter. There's numerous clips I upload that don't get a full video, and you might be missing out on something.